After a long day at work, guess what? I'm heading home, but not without a few stops along the way. A quick grocery run, and finally a solid gym session. Let's go. Japan's vending machines are everywhere and they have everything: hot coffee, cold drinks, and even soup. It's always tempting to grab something, but today remember that I'm staying focused. So, like I said, I'm gonna make some few stops, and the first stop here is this fruit store. This is where I buy my fruits and some vegetables. I love passing by this small temple. It is peaceful, and even though I don't stop, it's nice to remember to slow down and appreciate the little things. Anyway, if you're still with me, if you're still enjoying the video, I'm going to the next stop, and that is 7-Eleven. Here, I'm gonna get Calorie Mate, very good pre workout snack before I head to the gym. Right next to my gym is this burger shop. Smells amazing every time, but I'm not stopping today. Discipline first, we have a cheat meal later. Gym time, first a quick stretch. Gotta always warm up before lifting. That's very important. Right after stretching, I'm gonna start with bench press. I'm pushing 85 kg today. I'm only showing one set, but I'll hit 3 full sets. Next is biceps. I'll make sure to squeeze everywhere. Focus on contraction, not just the weight.
Getting stronger every day. To the bullets and the flames. But the fire's in your eyes, and there's no place left to hide. You got nowhere to run away. No, you got nowhere to run away, 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 run
With triceps, I go with this machine that is known as the triceps push down. And today we're going to do 3 sets of 29.3 kg. So what's very important is control and full extension. That is key. Squeeze the muscle like it owes you money. Next one is called leg swing. This burns like hell. It's great for chest activation and grip strength. So next is called side bends. And this is going to be 5 sets of 10 kg, but then I changed from 10 to 20 along the line because I felt 10 was too easy.
not ready to resume, 'cause like I'm taking. Don't wanna be alone, but I'm not in the zone. I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for somebody.
what I did over here is called a superset, where I don't rest. I start one workout and I lead it into the next workout. So I do two workouts within the same set, within one set. It's called a superset. Now the question is, how do you do a superset? If you want to know how to do a superset, you can leave it in the comment section and I'll create a new video on super. Hi guys, well, if you made it this far, thank you very much, and that's all for today. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. More fitness and daily content coming soon. See you. Arigatou gozaimasu.